Okay, so we get another activation. It ends up being Russian 2 units from fiddling around through all those charts. I decide to activate all these artillery here. Now, they're 2 because, well, this is all 2nd artillery. Now, of course, none of these have a box on there, but they were supposed to. And this is 2nd artillery, and then this stuff's all 6th artillery. And by determining that, that seems to be what they mean by a formation, although it's not absolutely clear. By moving these together, I can get a combined fire on this space, which I did. I add up the strength, and it ended up being 13, which is kind of nice. That puts me on the on this big table. And I rolled a 4, which means 1. I get a step loss on the Saxon Polens A, and that means I simply replace it with this unit, which is a little weaker. Apparently there are some misprints somewhere. So for example, this guy, his morale goes up, which probably is an error. And now I've got to keep track of this because this is 1 long infantry step lost. The French have already taken 2 casualties. If I can get this above some number, 7, 9, something like that, good things happen. Of course, I still want to withdraw and I'm moving forward, but it seems to me that I'm going to need some time to build some pontoon bridges and the like to get across the river. So I do want to cause some casualties while I can. What were my values here? I have to cause more than 9 steps of infantry, but that counts double. So as long as I can create some casualties, I think I want to do that. If I fall back and the French pursue, maybe I can cause more damage to them there. But right now I felt like I had to do what I did. We're running low on these little activation markers though. And this is a problem. It makes me think that maybe I'm doing this wrong. There are more than the amount of activation markers in units by this definition of units, of forces. However, this is the best I could get from here. Each unit located on the division brigade band, that would be a particular stack as far as I could see. It could be less than that, but at the per counter level it seems a little silly. So, you know, each long infantry's 1 and each stack. So I may have to share some of these. I don't know why I have so many out of command markers available. That seems a fairly rare occurrence. Alright. Okay, cool. I found more activated markers on the back of the pins. The Russians had to take some more passes back here. They have a hard time getting stuff moving in the rear at this point in the battle. It's kind of weird, just the way the activation table, half the time, well, a third of the time, they're deactivating forces instead of getting to use one when they get an activation attempt. I opened up more fire with artillery coming from here into here and decided to take an artillery unit as a step loss instead of the infantry. The infantry, remember those long guys are worth 2 step losses each. I don't want to take those losses. I could have done the same here and taken cav losses, I guess. There doesn't seem to be any restriction on that. Alright, well the French got an activation now, and they're out of interesting things to do for the most part. I'm gonna, and by the way, this changes what activates. So if you look at scenario 2, Russian activation is going to be by command, left, center, left, right, cav of the right. I'm not sure what that really all means here, because if you look here, well, cav of the right is this, center, left, but there's this Russian right, which might be the right reserve, I'm not sure. This is all very poorly defined. By command, center slash right, I guess they mean center of the right there. So I guess they mean this second layer here, but the first layer here, and presumably down here the whole reserve, I don't know. Not well defined. Alright, anyway, I'm going to test out this combat system. I don't have much I can do with the French. I feel like I can't even attack. I mean, if I gather 8 against here, I'm facing 13 plus whatever. But I think I should have cav advantage here. Let's go in. Shit, I don't know if I can assault with that artillery. Because it's not special stacked artillery, whatever the hell that means. So I think all that can do is bombard. Well, bombardment on a 1 isn't going to do me much, but we'll roll that. Yeah, that didn't do anything. And now we're doing an assault, and we have 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18. Facing, gosh, I don't know, does the artillery help? Probably not. Okay, as best as I can tell, it's 18 to 6. I'm discounting all the artillery. I don't think that matters, but I'm not positive. I know that it's supposed to only matter when they're special stacked, but it seems a little weird. Okay, great. So I've got terrain here. I've got this slope. That doesn't affect me if I'm attacking down, but I don't want to countercharge because that would make cav more valuable. Momentum and stuff like that doesn't really seem to affect this system for whatever it's worth. And I'm beginning to see why they switched to a buckets of dice system. I don't think this one's particularly accurate or interesting. Buckets of dice probably won't hurt it much. The kind of complexity to make buckets of dice good, maybe they went through, who knows. So what were we at again? I hate adding. If you watched any of my others, it was like 18 to 6. So I'm going to need calculators to remember numbers here. So I got 18 and 6, but now I've got a ton of modifiers. Morale. My morale's 5. Their morale appears to be 4. So I get another 1 for that. Ooh, that's a big effect. It's not a flank attack because it's not a long unit. Leaders, I think those are both 2 tacticals. Look that up. I'm pretty sure that's the middle value if I can find the leader. Yeah, so that's not going to affect anything. Cav. Okay, now we get to add the amount of cav strength points. The difference in those, that could be up to 12. I mean, that's a difference of 12, but it's only going to be 2 because this is not a charge because it's attacking cav. It would have to be the countercharge to have doubled that to the 4. Heavy cav. Do I have heavy? I think so. Oh, geez, I don't remember what tells heavy. But that's going to be another couple points if that's the case. Does heavy cav those little triangles? Does that tell me that? Is it the number of triangles? Geez, I don't remember. Cav, symbols, colored command bar overprinted with the command name. No, that's not it. Alright, well, we'll go back and try to figure out what piece of information is going to tell us that's heavy cav. I know what it is with the artillery. It's the black dot, the black circle around the number. My guess is the dark line underneath distinguishes between light and heavy. It's not specified anywhere. You gotta look it up. So those are heavies. I've got at least 2 additional heavies. There are no heavies for the other. And now, where are we? Lancers. I don't think anybody's got Lancers in here. I don't want to look through them all. Artillery. Oh, I don't think there's any artillery in this battle, but let me make sure that I'm understanding that correctly. Yeah, that only applies to special stacked artillery. Guards, pin, special units. I don't think we have any of that. So we have a difference of 23 and 6. We subtract 6, and we've got a plus 17 on the die roll. Well, we pretty much can tell that that's going to get us a good rating hitting the defender. See if there's anything else there. Let me make sure that clear terrain doesn't give anything. I wouldn't be shocked. Defender in clear attacked from woods +1 to defender morale. Okay. Now morale doesn't really mean much. It's just another additive onto this. We've got a 17 added to 1 die. Bang, we get 20. That's 2 hits on the defender. I see no reason to stay here, so we're going to retreat. I don't know if I can retreat across the stream. Doesn't look like it's a problem. So we'll just run away. And we got a 2, so we got to retreat 2 spaces, I think. Let me make sure of that. Now, a 2 actually is a retreat and a step loss, and it requires a morale check. Whoa, camera's dying there, isn't it? Crap. Okay, I can't even see here. It requires a morale check to be able to avoid retreating, and then you take full step losses. I gotta see what's up with this camera. Now the big question, and I'm definitely having issues with the camera here, I don't know what happened. The big question now is whether or not I want to pursue this. If I pursue, I'm going into some kind of weird little terrain there, and I could come into a lot of danger. On the other hand, I get to strike those units I was pursuing again. I don't know if they're hidden somehow behind the units they hid behind. I don't think so. Let's look for pursuit. It's an additional charge combat, which gives me even more bonuses. So I'm going after them just because. And now we add up again, but this counts as a charge combat. Wait, no, it's only on a cav charge. This didn't qualify as a cav charge, so there's no pursuit. The only way you can pursue is if you hit somebody in their turn. Whoop. And now I get an activation marker, or an activated marker for that whole command. And that's it. I don't feel like a hell of a lot's happened here, but we'll see. Okay, so the Russians got to activate 2 units and activated these brigades of cav. Moved up here to launch an attack there, but then, you know, when I started calculating it out, I decided to call it off. We were looking at, with the terrain, another 3-point swing, essentially a -1 to the attack. Now, if you roll a die at a -1, you're not going to do well. The counterattack wouldn't have been terribly better, so the French are not going to make an attempt on that. Okay, I'm beginning to suspect that it's only my view that gets affected here when it blares out. Basically, half my screen is lit up, but I looked and nothing affected that. Now, another thing I'm worried about, other than the Canadians outside, is that I think I've been misplaying this, and when I look at a division, the artillery, and this isn't clearly arranged on that chart, given that the artillery is not on it at all. For example, this is the 7th Division's artillery. Somewhere or another there's a 7th Division, and it should have been with that. Here is the 8th Division's artillery. And those got not moved because, you know, they're all spread around. It's hard to find a formation in this game. I think that kind of thing you get more used to, but let's see. So these guys are over here, Essen and Engelhart. It's not clear. There's no easy way to distinguish them on the board. So this is the 8th, but here's the 7th underneath this. So they've actually activated 2 as far as I can tell. Really annoying to try to determine what's been used and what hasn't. I've got 1 activation with the Russians, and I don't know what I can do. These guys essentially have been activated because I screwed up and used them. These guys have been activated. The fucking Canadians talking out there. Old folks yelling in my driveway. I don't know what to do. I mean, most of my units have been activated. I'll go with these and see what we're gonna have here. I scared them away. It seems they're not used to, they probably don't live in an apartment type situation, but they all come down here and, you know, act as though they've got 2 acres of land that they're on, meeting somebody out in their front yard, right out in front of my window, as it were. Alright. So I'm trying to figure out what the hell to do with my Russians and getting confused. Now I try to look at, well, how do I activate these? Well, there's some distinction or discussion about the Russians' Advanced Guard 1 and 2, Guard Jaeger Militia, and Support Division activates as a single force. I think this is the Support Division, though. It's not those. I think I activate them, I guess, with my headquarters. That's not clear. I can't find anywhere that discusses how I get to do stuff with my pioneers and my pontooners. But that's really all I want to do right now. I don't think I can fight a battle here. It's just too hard to get things moving and to get numerical advantages. Actually attacking? Yeah. I got this unit and this unit. I can only activate one unit is one of my problems. Now I could activate all of this and attack. Yeah, let's do that. What the hell? Because this is only halved whatever this is, and that's like 3. So that's not very much. So we'll make an attack here with the Advanced Guard and these Guard Jaegers. I guess we'll do a multi-area attack there. And that's it. I could not throw these in, I don't think, but I think I could throw these in. Hey, these are Advanced Guard. Are they part of the same Advanced Guard, or are they their own little force? Oh, I think they may be part of it or not. Jeez, I don't know. I'll hold off until I've got 2 activations to do something. So I got to pick something to do something with, and I got no idea what to hit with. So I'm going to try to figure out how those pontoons work. See if I can do them. I'll activate the headquarters officially. We'll see. So by my reading, because the Grenadiers are all split up, they're one big unit, including this. So they're one activation. I got nothing I want to do. I really don't. This game leaves me with no desire to take actions with my activations. There's, you know, I'm holding a position. There's no little mechanical stuff, no melee, no rally, no local superiority that I can take advantage of. So I'm doing nothing. Overall, it kind of makes sense. It's just kind of irritating to roll, just keep rolling dice and saying, oh, I got to take an activation. Well, what do I want to pass with now? You know, because maybe my front will get damaged somewhere or something will happen. This may be a particularly bad scenario in terms of this starting position. The Russians aren't able to activate much, and of course if you can't find the units and you activate part of a formation and then say you're screwed out of the other part, you're kind of hosed there. But, you know, so the Russians are dragging their feet and unwilling to do anything, and I think it's in the French's best idea not to do anything. It's just, I'm not getting a very good feel that this is an enjoyable game from this. I want to plow on a little further. Although I am considering kicking this one down the road and just saying it ain't worth it. Alright, I'll load this up and come up with some more.